I am quitting my job, the job that I've had for the last 5 years. It's me just going all in on myself.
Once you take the leap, the path becomes more clear. Why did you decide to quit your job now?
I'm the strongest I've ever been.
What is the big dream or the big goal?
I want a show on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I haven't heard that one. All right, everybody. Welcome back to For Your Own Good. I'm Kassidy Warren, and I'm here with my lovely wife, Miss Erin Warren. How's it going?
Good.
Good?
Great, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
I am quitting my job, the job that I've had for the last 5 years. And my last day is in 2 days. So I'm like working today, sending out final emails, wrapping up projects, and handing things off. And things are feeling good, actually.
So why did you decide to quit your job now?
Yeah. Well, I think one of the biggest things was we did our sound bath, manifestation, journal writing session on New Year's Eve. And we wrote a ton of I am statements, a bunch of really big, lofty goals that we set for ourselves for 2025. Ourselves, I mean, like me individually, but all of us kind of had that same idea. But when I went through and started sharing my I am, and all of my goals for 2025, I realized that not once did I write down, be a consultant, be the best wetland scientist ever, build wetlands, work this 9-to-5 job. So it's been on my heart ever since the new year. And just recently it kind of came into focus a little bit of what my next path should be.
Yeah, because you don't have anything lined up. You're not like going and getting another job.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so I just left my consulting work recently, started the podcast, and then kind of jumping into content and figuring out that path. Because people out there might not know, but all real estate investors are broke all the time because we're always putting our cash into properties. So you have to find other ways of making money, but there's no real clear path. And so what are you like? Do you have anything lined up?
Yeah, not any. It's me just going all in on myself right now, which is really a little scary, but I really do have this calling in my heart to help people design their spaces. I've been designing our Airbnbs for the last 5 years, and that was 9 houses in 5 years, every single space, interiors, exteriors, everything. And through that process, I really have fallen in love with design, even more so than I did before. And I've also seen what a dramatic effect changing your environment can have on your life. It affects the way that you feel. It affects your day-to-day. It affects what you even think about yourself. You know, it's kind of like this feedback loop of if you're not taking care of your spaces, then you're not taking care of yourself. And I know that a lot of folks maybe have a desire to have design help, or like, oh God, it would be so nice to be able to hire an interior designer to just help me design my whole house. And that's not really practical for a lot of folks, but I want to be able to help people, empower them to be able to do this themselves and to really key in on what makes them feel amazing and what rooms they need to prioritize. Like, what are your biggest pain points? And how can we just really optimize yourself in your own space?
Yeah. And something that you've done and we've done together on a lot of the properties is because we're designing for hospitality, we create spaces, at least this is how I kind of think about it, create spaces that create ease and peace and comfort. And you do things in these houses, in these properties, in the hotels that you may not do in your own home, or you may not have traditionally done in your own home. But I think you can take a lot of what is done at a great Airbnb, a great hotel, and implement it into your own home. because I know something that you and I have done a lot over the past couple of years is really focus on peace and ease and comfort and implementing things that create joy and comfort, and how much better our lives have become because of that.
It's so true. It's so true. And it could be something as simple as adding a record player or giving yourself a little meditation spot in the corner with some sage and some crystals. And even just thinking about that and making yourself a priority is going to be so huge for folks, because a lot of people just have designed their spaces by default. Throughout the years, it's like whatever the trend is, whatever Chip and Joe have on the shelf at Target, and you start pulling together these things that you haven't really put any thought into it. You just liked it at that moment because of the display that was in there. And I want to bring so much more intention to how people are using their space and how it makes them feel, even if it is starting out small and just getting in tune with how you feel, how you want to feel, and bringing awareness to that and starting to, I don't know, feed that.
And so, yeah, I think about a lot of mothers that have kids. They're solely focused on taking care of the kids, and the house has gotten cluttered. The garage is full. The closets are full. Like, you can't even think about giving stuff away or having a garage sale. And you can't even think about having, 30 minutes to yourself. Like, how are moms supposed to be able to take care of themselves?
Yeah, I know. And when your life is so chaotic, you really need to have a space for yourself. It will make you a better person. It will make you a better mom. It will make you a better partner when you prioritize yourself. And so many folks just have not, because they're giving and they're doing all of this out of love. But to be able to have a little bit of a space and a little bit of a time for yourself is going to be so important in the way that you show up for your family. And yeah.
And so you have gone on a fitness journey, and you guys might be wondering why I'm asking these questions, because I already know all the answers, but I don't know all the answers, but I want people to hear, because people see this version of you. And actually, I was making fun of your shorts earlier because they're long, so I would call them longs,
They're
not
definitely
shorts.
longs.
But you got some new glasses going on. Your hair is a little bit different. You're wearing different clothes. And I don't think this version of you would exist without going through your fitness journey.
Yeah.
Can you tell me who you've had to become?
Yeah. It's pretty wild. It's been 9 months since I started this fitness program, and it's fitness, but it's also mindset. And an interesting thing happens when you get curious about the stories that you've always been told, the stories that you've always told yourself, and you start to ask the question of like, well, what if that's not true? What if I'm not an overweight, introverted, meek, small person? What if I'm meant to be on stages and helping people and a super visible person online and in real life with people? What if? And so once I started this fitness transformation, I really started to question a bunch of things about myself, because I was making these breakthroughs in my fitness, which I had never done before. I'd never thought it was even possible to be able to lift weights without hurting myself, to be able to do a push-up with good form, not from my knees. I never thought it would be possible to even see the hint of an ab muscle, because my stomach has been something that I've been self-conscious of literally since I was six or 8 years old. And starting to see breakthroughs happening in those parts of my life when it's something that I've truly identified with to my core for 30, 40 years, your reality starts to become a little bit shattered. And you realize that you can be whatever the hell you want to be.
And so what changed for you, though?
Like internally?
I mean, yeah. you made a decision
Yeah.
to commit. I mean, that was my observation is, you know, and I was kind of just being open with people. I was kind of sitting, waiting for you to make a decision about what you were going to do, because there were all these things that I was seeing that were getting in the way of your own happiness and fulfillment and success. And I think confronting or admitting or being honest with yourself about your own fitness levels, because I was getting worried. I was getting worried because there's this, we've talked about this where we don't want to be the people that can't lift our own luggage into the overhead bin on an airplane. And you were kind of getting there.
It was creeping up. Yeah, it was.
And it's not like you were a tiny little frail, but it was sort of like that.
Yeah.
And it was like you were having these ailments. I remember you were having these ailments in your knees and your foot or this. And it was like you were scared to get outside and run. And like, it was getting a little worrisome, to be honest. I was like, oh no, like this is the downhill slide.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna be able to live my life like this, like personally. And I was having to like, my own questions about stuff, not like, is the relationship over, but like, but I can't make that decision for you. Nobody can make that decision for you. And so like, what was it? What finally clicked?
I had been doing so much physical activity. I've been active for a lot of my life, of being outside, hiking, biking, running, swimming. I completed my first triathlon. I did a 200-mile bike ride from Seattle to Portland with a bunch of girlfriends. And all of those things were incredible. I felt just like, hell yeah, this is so badass. But the way that I felt in my body did not feel very badass. I felt like my outward expression did not match who I truly felt inside, from what I felt was my athleticism, but also just like who I am as a person and who I, in my mind's eye, see for myself. And that was really frustrating for me, especially getting older, especially being like in my 40s. And I'm like, this isn't going to get easier. I felt broken, honestly. I was just like, I'm moving my body so much and I'm working so hard and nothing. Like I still look the same, and this is really frustrating. So for the first time ever in my life, I was like, I can't do this alone.
Yeah.
I have to reach out to a professional for help on my fitness journey. So even that alone, like it might sound really stupid, like, yeah, dumb, go get help from a professional who has done this before and who specializes in this. But I've always been someone that was like, I will figure it out by myself. I will do this on my own. It's like a badge of honor that I had worn for so many years of my life. And then when I reached out to a professional, it was like a game changer.
And so what's happened in that 9 months, like physically and mentally?
Yeah. Well, I've released almost 25 pounds, which is incredible, because I thought max I probably had 20 to release, and I still have more to go. So that's pretty incredible. I'm the strongest I've ever been. I'm the most energetic I've ever been. I can do things that I wasn't able to do before, like simple tasks, like putting my luggage in the overhead bin with ease, carrying groceries. Like everything in my life is enhanced in such a better way physically. And then when you talk about like the emotional and I don't know, the other aspects of it all, I'm just like such a better person, I feel like.
I think so too. I think watching you do those push-ups with perfect form told me more about who you are as a person than anything I've seen, because it means that you removed all excuses, right? Because I've heard you say before, I can't do regular push-ups, or it'll never happen, or these are the right ways, or there's, I think the biggest change for me that I've seen in you is the removal of excuses.
Yeah.
And just owning things and taking ownership. And also I think both of our ability just to like handle stressful situations and communicate and like, and it's so crazy because the thing is, it's so simple. you work out 5 to 6 times a week under a program from the coach, and you eat the right macros for your body. But your body is completely transformed.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, you've lost 25 pounds, but it looks like you've lost 50, honestly, because of the way that your body's transformed. And then the way that you show up. This is the thing, is I always saw the beast in you. I always saw this like strong, smart, like person that could do anything. But like you said, it didn't match the outward. And it's not even the outward, the weight or the look. It's how you showed up as a person. And you use the word meek. And I think there's a lot of people out there that believe they're introverts. And maybe they are. Maybe they are. But I think there's a lot of people that have dreams that use the word introvert as an excuse to not go after their dreams.
100%. I know that I was. Because it's a story I've always told myself. So there were a lot of things like that in my life that were stories and excuses of why things weren't working out for me, why I couldn't be this thing, why I was kind of stuck in the role that I was. And it's been really freeing to start to shatter those ideas and be a different person, be who I feel like is my truest me that I've ever been.
That's right. And I think that's what this whole thing is about.
Yeah.
And so you did something with your journaling and everything. And you also had a phrase that you used around manifesting who you are as a person and being an introvert or not. What was that?
Well, one of my biggest mantras that I've been using is I radiate positive energy, abundance, and wealth. That's the one that I say the most. Was there another one that you're thinking of?
You're an extreme extrovert.
Oh yeah. And then I'm an extreme extrovert too. Like I've been telling myself this out loud in moments of self-doubt and moments where I'm about to go meet a bunch of people and I start to get nervous and I start to think, is this right? Are they all going to hate me? Are they going to laugh at me? Like all those terrible, like spiral self-doubt things that I've had on repeat in my head. I just stop that like vicious cycle and I start repeating things like that. So I'm an extreme extrovert is something that I've also been telling myself, and it really, really helps to flip the script that way.
Mm-hmm. And so then what's next? You're going to start this program, right? Do you have a name for it?
The one that I've been toying around with is design and refine, because I want to help people refine their spaces. It's not just like, hey, I'm going to come in and do all this for you, and then in 6 months, you're going to be back to the same old habits. Like, I really want to empower people to design and refine their own spaces. So design and refine.
And so what, like, you're going to help them design their space. Is there a fitness component too?
There's not necessarily like a fitness component. Like, I'm not going to be coaching anyone on their fitness goals, but I do want to have some non-negotiables about the practices and the habits that people get into, because everything builds on itself. You can't just singularly tackle one thing and hope that it, I don't know. Besides fitness, honestly, I'm like thinking out loud here. Fitness is the one thing that you can start working on, and it trickles down to all these other facets of your life. And so there will be a fitness component of just like accountability, but not like I'm coaching someone through my own program.
Yeah, you're not.
I'm not certified.
Yeah. And then are you doing any other design work? Because like you're stepping out in the unknown. And the reason I'm kind of hammering on this is because like I know that there's a lot of people out there that have a lot of big dreams and goals, and they think that they have to have a job or cash flow or this or but we're sort of both stepping out in the unknown without having the next thing lined up. We kind of know what we're doing or what we want to do, but there's no real like money coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we still have our properties, we still have that, but like, we're trying to go after bigger things.
Mm-hmm.
And so we kind of have to like build it.
Yeah.
Right. And so how do you feel about who you were to who you are stepping out in the unknown?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think old Erin or little Erin would have the confidence or the ability to do this.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think so either. Because this is a really big step into the unknown and putting more belief in myself than I ever have. I mean, we have done this before when we quit our jobs to go do van life. And so we knew that we were going to make it happen. And then once that ended, we kind of went all in on ourselves to start investing in real estate in our first Airbnb as well. Like it was kind of that blind confidence. And when you believe in yourself in that way, great things happen. And we invested in our first Airbnb in 2019, and great things have happened since then. Things that I never would have been able to imagine could happen for us. And so this is really just like the next step and going all in even harder, especially knowing now that I'm so much more well-equipped to handle it.
Yeah, I think when you ask people about this and quitting their job or going after their dreams or going after the thing that they might regret not going after, and you ask them what the worst case scenario is, and it's like, oh, well, I'll just go back to like getting a job.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you're already working a job, so your worst case scenario is what you're living right now.
Yeah. That one really hit me the other day. I wrote that one down because I'm like, I know you and I have talked about it before. Like, well, what's the worst that can happen? We'll just go back to our regular jobs. But hearing it phrased in that way, that the worst case scenario is you in your current life. Like, you're just going to go back to this? Okay. Yeah, that's really not that bad. It's a pretty good life. And then I'll probably try another thing.
Yeah. There's phases where like life is not permanent, and it's about building relationships and it's about growth. And I know that what I've recognized is once you take the leap, the path becomes more clear. You may not see all the way to the end, but the next couple steps become a little bit clearer, and people start to appear on the path to help you. It's like a little video game where, the supplies that you need, a little old man
the
pops
Oregon
in.
Trail.
Yeah, it's like the Oregon Trail, right? Like, hopefully no one's dying from listeria or whatever it was. But like, once you take yourself seriously, the universe starts to take you seriously. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty incredible what starts to happen and show up. And if you can learn to add value into people's lives, that's the magic.
Yeah.
Is when you can start to add value into people's lives.
Yeah, and I truly believe that once you take that leap, things will start to align. And we are co-creators with the universe, but we have to believe that there's something bigger for us. And once you step into the unknown, mysterious things will happen to you and for you. And I'm really excited to see what that is, because I have no idea.
That's right.
I'm just like along for the ride.
Yeah, you and me both. Like, I have visions and goals for this thing.
Yeah.
And actually, I was talking to my therapist about this, just these pathways that have been wired into our brains around fear and scarcity and habits. And I've talked about my road rage habit that I'm actively breaking and getting better and better every day. But it's just like this neural pathway that's been wired, and it's so hard to break. And so how that applies with wanting to figure out how to make money over having joy and happiness and fulfillment, and trusting that the universe is going to like have your back.
Yeah.
Right. And so I have a vision and a goal for this podcast, and it's not just to be a real estate podcast, right? I'm not just going to talk to investors and owners and boutique hotel people. And like, I've got a way bigger vision than that, that. And so it may take me longer to get the payday. I don't know if there is going to be a payday, but
there's going to be a payday.
Yeah, there is. Exactly. See, and I know. And she kept catching me on that. I keep saying that.
Yeah.
And she's like, you can't dictate what money is going to do for you.
Yeah.
You can't dictate how money comes into your life.
Yeah.
Because I kept saying that, I kept minimizing my ability to get paid from doing the podcast.
That's right.
In a real way. But I really do believe I can make this one of the best podcasts in the world, which inevitably only means that there's going to be money. But the fun thing is I get to live this life along the way. I have to change my neural pathways though, to just being in this and present and loving it and enjoying it and creating the best thing that I can create without any expectation of outcomes. It's what I teach people. It's what I teach people is when you make the decision, it takes a lot longer than you may think to get the payoff, but it all happens way sooner than you think. So like I'm living my life that I've decided and dreamed of right now. And I'm having fun. There's a big guest that we just got, and I'm really excited about it because she's on TV. She's been on TV a bunch. She's a chef. So I don't know. I'm like, but I knew I could do it. And so she's going to be on, and it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger because I'm also trying to add value into people's lives. And truly I am. And I'm also trying to be the most creative person that I can be and like feed my creative side. And I think that's really what the universe rewards.
Yeah.
Is living in your superpower, living in your creativity. That's all I've ever asked for like you to be able to do too. Right. And so to see this transformation has been so inspiring, not just for me, but I know for a lot of other people.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't know, what does it feel like to have like the body that you've been wanting?
It feels incredible. Like, I wish I would have found this solution earlier, really. But I know that everything happens at just the right time. And for whatever reason, this happened now, and I'm ready to be this person, ready to walk through those doors. You know, everything is right on time. And yeah, it does feel really incredible.
Yeah.
I feel the best I've ever felt. And that's a great feeling.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Different human.
Yeah.
Different human.
I do feel like a different human. Like I still kind of catch myself when I see myself in the mirror, like across the gym, walking towards the mirror, I'm like, oh, damn, she looks good. And I'm like, yeah, bitch, that's you. You did that.
That's right.
And it feels really, really good. When I watch my videos back, because I take videos so that way I can make sure my form looks good and check my progress, because it's inspiring to me to even go back and watch my videos and see how far I've come in 9 months. And when I watch my videos back, you took a video of me today, so I got a different perspective on me doing my push-ups. And I'm like, damn, that's amazing.
Yeah, you look incredible.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and even for me, I am not a take your shirt off guy. I never have been.
Yeah.
But that's just been the language. And part of it was the tattoos that I got. I'm like not proud of them. I don't really like them anymore. But that's also sort of an excuse that I was using, because now, like when we were in Austin, it was hot out at the gym, and I just naturally, like, it was like no other option but to just take my shirt off. And it felt really good to be doing that. And I was like, these are all just stories.
Yep.
These are all just stories. You can be whoever you want.
That's right.
But you have to do the work. And the work, like your confidence comes on the other side of doing the work.
Absolutely.
That's all this is. The energy that people feel, the energy that they see on the other side of us posting on social media, the energy behind these microphones, it all comes from doing the work every single day. And literally the fitness journey, becoming the person that you've always wanted to be. Get the six pack, get the body, focus only on that. If everybody just focused only on that, everybody would just be living in their zone of genius, because they would have so much confidence to go throughout the day, to speak up for themselves, to get what they want, to be calm, to have empathy, to create what they want. Like it all changes. Yeah,
100%. And for me, the beginning of this was really a worthiness issue. And I think that a lot of folks have a worthiness issue, and they might disguise it as, oh, well, I don't want to be like that, or I'm not a gym bro. I had to reconcile my own feelings about feeling like a gym bro myself and carrying around a protein shaker. But a lot of folks just have a worthiness issue, that they don't feel worthy to spend the time, which actually it's not that much time, to spend the money. Actually, it's really not that much extra money. You're just eating different foods and like prioritizing themselves. There's a huge worthiness issue in that. I don't feel worthy to have the body that I want. That's not meant for me. And it's just a lie that you're telling yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the stories that we grew up with.
Yeah.
I know that you have a story of your family, like saying something about your stomach. And it's just basically a family.
It's a family trait.
Yeah. It's a family trait.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you will never be able to change that, is what I've always been told since I was a child.
Yeah.
And it comes from a place of love, of like, my family didn't want me to feel bad about it. But it's interesting. I was talking to someone else in my family and she was like, oh my gosh, you were told that same story too? I've been told this my whole life. We didn't realize that, like, the story of that, the belly it's gone on like multi-generational,
Yeah.
it kind of blew my mind.
Yeah. So what are your big dreams after this? Or like, what is the big dream or the big goal?
I want a show on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I haven't heard that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we have been on Netflix.
No, we have been on Netflix.
It wasn't our show, though.
It wasn't our own show, but I want a show on Netflix.
You should have your own show.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to be able to help as many people as possible. So I'll start with a program and be able to help people in a group setting, one-on-one setting, design and refine their spaces. But eventually I would like to be on Netflix to be able to help millions of people think about themselves and their spaces and what they actually want, and to design their lives with intention instead of designing by default, which is what we've all been doing.
Yeah, there you have it, folks. This is manifestation and calling your shot. She's never told me that. I've never heard that, but I know she can do it. We've already been on Netflix once, and I think you're going to help a lot of people. And this is how you get what you want, is you put it out there. And there might be someone literally listening to this right now that loves you, knows people at Netflix, and can make it happen.
That's right.
Yeah.
Reach out to me.
I think we got to do the videos that I've been talking about.
Yes, we have to.
Yeah. So I'm going to say, we're doing these videos, and maybe they're both
I have
of us.
so much free time now that I'm not going to have a job.
So the idea is, and I'm going to put it out there because you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Is to basically do reaction videos to all of the old like HGTV and Trading Spaces shows back from like the early 2000s, because it was a wild time. Extreme Makeover Home Edition, wild.
Trading Spaces,
wild. Wild. Jeff Lewis flipping out, wild.
Yeah.
Like,
this was cringe before cringe was a word, when they would flip spaces.
In like 2 days. They would redo a whole house in a week. Like, there's no way that any of those houses are still like, like the drywall had to fall off, the paint had to run, the plumbing had to leak. Like, those houses had to have fallen apart in like,
oh my gosh,
a year.
Yeah.
So we want to react to those videos and make fun of them and have fun with everybody. And then maybe have some fun people on to do the same thing. So,
yeah. And honestly, just us watching it together will be a lot of fun.
Exactly. That's a lot of fun. And
it makes me happy just thinking about it.
I know. And this is what I want people to like, go do the fun thing and just like put a camera on and like go do it. Like, it just sounds fun. And then it's like on brand, That's right. So,
yeah.
All right. And then just as like a little update, what are we heading off to go do for the next few weeks?
Yeah. April is a busy travel month. We're heading up to Kelowna for the Social Selling Summit. So your business coach, fitness coach, my fitness coach, mindset coach, Dan Martell is hosting Social Selling Summit. And so we're going to be up there. We're going to meet a lot of folks in real life. That's going to be amazing. After that, we're going down to Costa Rica for a wedding. Then after that, we're going to Mexico City to do a little design inspiration trip. You and I, we love design and we love being inspired, and it's felt like a long time since we've done that for ourselves. So it's a work trip, but it's also like, it's going to be a really fun and inspiring work trip down in Mexico City. I'm so stoked about it.
I'm so excited. And there's actually going to be a lot of people that we know down in Mexico City at the same time.
Yeah.
So we'll have to balance seeing people and like spending time and getting inspired. But I think it'll be good to go see a bunch of the city. And we're staying at Campos Polanco is one of the hotels, which look it up. And then Maison Celeste is the other hotel. Both totally different, both super dope, design forward, hospitality. I'm super excited. And then we go to Merida, Mexico after to also get design inspired along the Yucatan Peninsula. It's where we drew a lot of inspiration for the Drachman, which we're in right now. And it's funny when we were going to book the Airbnb, scrolling through the listings, I was like, oh my God, I've looked at so many of these listings already just because we were using stuff for design inspiration down there. So I'm super excited. I love textures. I love colors. I love fabric. I love stone, rock. Like I'm really excited. This weekend we drove out to go look at a property that has existing like hotel buildings on it, essentially, out east of Tucson. And it reminded me going out there that it just wasn't dramatic enough for me. And then it just need to go find the right piece of land and go build what I want to build. And I want to go build art and nature that is like organic architecture that kind of just really blends in and hides in a landscape that you can just sit in and connect with. I want to connect people with themselves like they've never been connected before. Peace, ease, and then I want to connect them with nature like they haven't been able to before. Because I just don't think a lot of people get access to nature where it's safe or they feel safe. And I think out in the desert, especially the Tucson desert, you can really do that because there's nothing that's really going to eat you. And there's a lot of animals and nature that you can connect with. And if you build the right structures, the views and the experience and the connection can just be off the charts. And then, so that's what I want to build. And I just have to go build it. And I need to stop doing other things that are not that for the real estate side. And so I'm going to be kind of heads down figuring that out. I'm helping out with some masterminds, doing some of that stuff to help teach people. I'm not starting my own yet. And then I'm writing the damn book.
Hell yeah.
I'm writing the damn book. So I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write a book. I'm not telling you exactly what it is because I don't know. There's 2 ideas I have right now. And I'm going to kind of see where the inspiration, where it takes me and what feels right in my body and what I feel alive with. And so those are the kind of the big 3 things. And then the fitness is just constant and foundational. So with the fitness, I am almost done with the cut. This is April 1st right now. April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day.
I've probably got 1 more week, maybe 2, I think. And then I can start turning around. And so it depends on how low I go. I talked to Ellen and he's like, no, go lower. So I might have another 3 to 4 weeks actually to go really low on my body fat, which will be better once I then start building. And I'll spend a year bulking to gain muscle. And that's when you guys will see the real transformation of like how big and how changed I'm going to get. So,
which is crazy because your body composition has changed completely. It's not like you've just like lost weight and you're like an emaciated version of like an emaciated, deflated version of what you were before. Your body composition has completely changed. You look like a different person.
Yeah, my face shape has changed.
Yeah.
My face shape has completely changed. My body shape has changed. My everything's popping.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty crazy. And I did it in 100 workouts.
Yeah.
Like it happens so much faster than you think.
It's crazy that you can change your body completely in 100 workouts. Like what? And even seeing you and the way that you carry yourself. I saw you from across the gym in Austin, Texas at Lift ATX. I saw you from across the gym with your shirt off. Like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
And that was my husband.
That's right. And there was a lot of the other guys looking because they were not at the same spot.
Yeah.
And maybe they will be. And I hope that they do. But it was really interesting because I've always been the small guy.
Yeah.
But I've never felt that way. I've always felt stronger and bigger. But I've always been the small guy and wondered why I wasn't stronger or why I couldn't do, there were certain things I was really good at, the HIIT classes, the running, but I've never been able to really lift. And so this has been really great. And I'm really excited to get strong. I'm really excited to stay healthy. I'm really excited to like just show everybody out there, not to like negatively prove it to you, but just like show people like what's possible.
Yeah.
Like you are in control of your reality. You are in control of your life. You can design your life. You can design your body.
Yeah.
Right? What do you want to look like? Who do you want to be? And then the confidence that has. And I'm not saying I don't have days of self-doubt. You know, it's like, I would say it's fewer and far between now, the self-doubt. And it's more about just keeping the momentum and like making decisions. But like having the fitness foundation is paramount to eliminating self-doubt.
Yeah.
And just having confidence in every single thing that you do. When you lift big, heavy things every single day and you see the change and you do it every single day, it changes everything you do in life. So, and for girls too, for women,
100%.
I want women to do what you've done because there's so many people, there's so many women out there. I don't want to get bulky, not for me, like I love chocolate cake, wine, all that. It's like, no, you should go be a badass.
Yeah.
Go be a badass.
I can't believe how much smaller I am lifting heavy weights compared to what I was before. Because that was a real concern with me too. Another one of my like body image, self-conscious things was my back. And I always like would kind of like joke, but self-deprecating joke of like, I've got a man back. I've got a back like a linebacker. Like I would say some not so nice things about myself, because it was a really big insecurity of mine that like I had broad shoulders, I had a big chest, I couldn't fit into a button-up shirt, and that sucked. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I lift weights, I'm just gonna get bigger. It was like exactly the opposite, which was just like, it blows my mind that I'm like the smallest version of myself since I've been lifting heavy weights.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I've heard you say now your shoulders and your back are like the favorite part of your body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
To turn a negative into a positive. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I am also excited for the Social Selling Summit because I talk about building something before it's sold or selling something before it's built.
Yeah.
And so Ryan Brazel and I, we said the Social Selling Summit's going on. We need to piggyback off of this and add as much value to everyone that's going. And so we basically planned like 2.5 days of extra events. I would say 2 days of extra events. And we didn't have anything. It was like, we're just making it happen. And everyone's really excited. Everyone's going to show up and we're going to record content for people. They're going to get an opportunity to share. I'm doing a live podcast, right? Like there's all this extra stuff that we're doing. And it's so amazing because it's so fun to just create stuff like that and leverage an existing event, an existing audience to go like add value to people's lives. And then I've got enough episodes recorded right now. If I did solo episodes every week, I have enough episodes recorded with guests to get us to like mid-June, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And so I have to, basically my plan for the next few weeks is to like dial in on the next phase of this podcast. And my goal is to create more aesthetic locations with bigger name guests for 2 reasons. One, I just want to do it. I want it to look great because we did one with Isaac French that'll come out soon. It looks incredible. And it like you just are captivated by what he's saying because of who he is and the backdrop. And like, it's great.
It's an artist in his studio and it is so aesthetic. It's so beautiful and it's so him. And it's interesting because watching that, you can tell that he's at ease too. He's in his own environment. He's in this thing that he's built and it's just gorgeous.
Yeah. And then Chris Williamson just released his episode with Naval where they redid this whole like old house library thing. And so I want to do a couple like on location, or I want to do not just a couple, I want to do on location. Like if we go to Zion for the Carwell's retreat, have Zion as a backdrop interviewing the owner of Auto Camp, right? Or like a chef in their kitchen kind of thing. And like have it be really aesthetic and then maybe convert certain rooms. So I think starting to incorporate more aesthetic, better camera work, better lighting, like having people help me out with that, getting more content out is also a big goal. So my goal is to continue to level up and that this is going to be one of the top podcasts in the world in less than a year.
That's right.
That's my goal. And I think I could do it. And my goal has always been to meet interesting people, tell great stories, share things with everybody, connect, expose people to conversations that they need to hear. And so I'll be working on getting more like artists and authors and scientists and, you know, like those types of people to give some really great insight as well. So
love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, where can they connect with you? Where can they find you? If they want to be part of the Design and Refine program.
Yeah. You can find me on Instagram at Erin Warren 3_. I'm not the first Erin Warren.
And it's you with a green background, right?
Yeah, it's me in my green wool running shirt in the green on green bathroom that I designed here at the Drockman. So
that's right.
Holding a cup of coffee, very on brand.
That's right. All right. Well, as always, everybody, I appreciate you. Love you. This has been For Your Own Good. Peace.